Murder was the case that they gave me. And man, as much as I'd like to rap the rest of that song for you, how does it apply in this segment? Well, at common law, you had murder and you had manslaughter. The difference between them is murder requires malice, manslaughter is killing without malice. Modernly, most jurisdictions have some statutes that define first degree, second degree, third degree, depending on how many different degrees there are, but they are statutorily defined. So on the bar exam, there's no first degree or second degree as a default. If they want to test you on the bar on degrees, likely they will give you this jurisdiction defines first degree as, this jurisdiction defines all other murders as second degree if they fall into these categories. They're going to have to give you the statute. But if they don't give you a statute, then we're going to default to common law. And defaulting to common law, and again, we're doing that because there's no modern majority as far as first degree versus second degree. Defaulting to common law, we're looking for malice. And malice, you either have express malice or implied malice. Express malice is real simple. I want you dead, I make you dead. Or I want to hurt you real bad. I want to inflict serious or grievous bodily injury on you, and it results in your death. Maybe I didn't want to kill you, but I wanted to hurt you real bad. In either event, we have express malice because you want to hurt somebody and you commit an act that brings about that person's death. Implied malice is where you don't necessarily intend to hurt somebody or kill them. In fact, you may not even contemplate that somebody could be injured by your actions, but your actions are still at a high likelihood that it could bring about death or serious bodily injury, like depraved heart murder. And when I think of depraved heart murder, I'm reminded of two scenarios that we've seen recently in the news, right? The first was a few years ago. Some boys in, I think, Michigan perhaps, went up on top of a bridge with big rocks, boulders, whatever, and threw them over the edge. And they went over the edge and they crashed down into a car and they killed a person. Those boys were charged with murder. But we didn't intend to kill anybody. But we didn't intend to hurt anybody. Well, express malice is one type, but is not required because you still have implied malice. We didn't intend an inherently dangerous felony. We were just being stupid. Nah, you weren't being stupid, guys. You were being malicious. Because even though you didn't intend ill will on anyone passing underneath that bridge, there's a high likelihood that your actions could bring about the death of another because that rock falling at a very high rate of speed onto oncoming traffic that is completely unaware of it, that sets up a situation where there's a high likelihood that somebody can die. There's malice. The other one then are the police officers, right? Police officers, people who are trained to use firearms playing the most deadly game, Russian roulette. That also is a malicious situation because Russian roulette, how does the game end? One person's alive, one person's dead. And on the bar, I want you to charge or find guilty the remaining person of murder. Why? Because we have implied malice, because there's a high likelihood that somebody could die there. And our second type of implied malice would then be felony murder. Felony murder, we're looking for an inherently dangerous felony. Don't just take any felony and slap it together with a death and call it felony murder. Make sure that there is inherent danger around it. And if you've been doing bar prep for a while or even looked at any bar prep outline, you'll see the old mnemonic BARK, right? Burglary, arson, rape, robbery, and kidnapping. This is not an all-exclusive list, meaning there are many others, bombing, terrorism, carjacking that would fall under that list. But I want you to look at the felony, and is there inherent danger around it? Meaning, is there a likelihood that somebody's going to die during the scope of that felony? If the answer is yes, then the good argument to make is that you have an inherently dangerous felony. If it's then causally connected to the death of your victim, then you have felony murder. So you have murder at common law requires malice, either express or implied. If you don't have either type, then you have manslaughter. But the trap, the thing I want to leave you with is this. Don't say it can't be murder because the defendant did not intend to kill. Because the only type of murder that requires intent to kill was the first one that we talked about, right? I want you dead and I make you dead. But the other three, I want to hurt you but not kill you and you die. There's no intent to kill there. Depraved heart murder, the rocks over the bridge. There's no intent to kill there. There's not even intent to harm there. And then felony murder, oftentimes thieves go to great lengths to rob without a gun or without a loaded gun to remove the opportunity for somebody to die, but there's still implied malice in those situations. But note, those last three do not require intent, yet we still have malice, and therefore we still have murder. That's a classic trap on the bar exam. I want you to be watching for it.